Alright, what are we starting on here? It is about a 1997 1 liter 5-speed. It's just all wore out. I see it's out of oil and tranny's noisy, so we're gonna go through the tranny. Tranny's coming out. The engine's gonna come out and put a clutch kit in it. And yeah, that's it, I believe. Yep. And well, we're gonna make that happen. Well, I can see why this thing's out of oil. These pistons are just covered in oil. This thing is a major oil abuser. The rings must be completely stuck in it. Alright, well, we've got a burn exhaust valve. Another burn exhaust valve here. Not a big deal. Just high mileage.
How are you going to explain that?
You know, I'm just getting ready to swap this clutch assembly off for the new one. Look how wore the ring is on it. The throw bearing was almost stuck on the shaft. So we'll get a new clutch kit put on there, and alrighty. Oh, that's what a Geo looks like with no engine and transmission in it. Fun, fun, fun. Time to start putting it back together. Axle boots look like they're okay. Yeah, looks like it'll clean up pretty good, especially after it's fresh. You know, no rear seal leak here as I'm taking this thing apart. Rear seal's about, it's not soft, but it's fairly hard. I'm trying to figure out how many miles are on this car. I see the engine's been in and out. I'm not sure that it's the original engine, but must have had something done at some time. Everything shows really high miles. You know what it is? It's probably just a used motor that was put in. That makes more sense. At any rate, everything looks good so far. So this oil that's all over the motor here from this front cranksail being out. So we'll get that changed out of here.
Just based on the Earth's tilt and orientation, the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere should now be a lot lower.
So it looks like that's where the oil leak came from. And that's what caused all the oil to be down there. If you slide under the car, you can see the oil on the rack and then underneath. So that, I can think what the camera shows it, but this timing belt that was on it, I didn't think it was all that bad. And then I see it's delaminated, so it must be old too. Well, obviously you're supposed to change them when they still look new. I just didn't expect this to look like it was supposed to break. Huh. Alright, well, we'll get a new one on there. Here's the number one piston. The biggest problem with this is just the same as all cars. Not enough oil changes. Ring's just completely stuck. I can't move it at all. Just gotta change the oil more, and every car should have an oil cooler installed on it. So I'm gonna get these rings installed really quick, get some rod bearings on this thing, and get it back together. You know, something that I rarely show, if I've ever showed it in the videos, is obviously I always use the factory, the factory bearings, the NPRs, but like these are the rings off the first piston. I always take them off and mic them, and make sure they're, just grab your micrometer and make sure that the ones you're replacing with are exactly the same. You never know when some knucklehead has changed to some of these aftermarket Chinese pistons. A lot of pistons that are out there, piston sets you can buy from, well, not even Chinese, even American. A lot of companies out there, the CNC's making cheap piston sets, which the pistons are just fine. It's just a lot of times they'll use their own ring source, and the rings will be just a little bit different. You could run into a problem there. Alright, the top of the block is done, the cylinder walls are done, they just look beautiful. It's perfect. And it's ready to install the pistons, and we'll go from there. Alrighty, another hoppy bottom end done, and just getting ready to put the head on. I was just putting a thermostat in it. If anybody wants the factory thermostat, it's a Motorad 239 180.
They have like a 6-bedroom house,
So
and they have a really good
FYI.
life, and all the rest of their kids are gone, so there's plenty of room. So they move in there.
Okay, just finished pressure washing the engine compartment out. Some of this grunge out of here. It's kind of nice to be able to reach into the engine compartment and not be all greasy. One thing on this particular Geo is when you pump the brakes a few times, and I'm sure you're used to it, the brakes fade away. What you're going to find is the vacuum hose on this car that goes to the intake manifold. You're going to find this hose. It's rock solid. It's probably full of carbon and plugged up. You'll probably have to replace that hose. And the hose that goes, can I show it? My battery's going to go dead here. But the hose where it comes off here and goes down and plugs into the intake manifold, that's probably full of carbon too, so it's just barely got a pinhole through it. So you take those off, take a coat hanger and plug it into the intake manifold back there on its port, and make sure that hole's nice and clean. Just jab it a few times and replace those hoses. And you don't even have to go to Geo to get the hoses going. Get the just some like transmission line or something like that, just thick walled tubing. Alright, my camera's going to turn off here, so thank you very much.